Today we're going to discuss how to eat out at a restaurant on a diet. What's up guys, it's Anthony from AB Fitness Center where we help you to lose body fat, gain muscle, and get stronger. What's going on guys, it's Anthony. It's a beautiful day today and it's a perfect day to talk about eating out at a restaurant. So most of the time we're trying to lose some body fat, we're trying to get in better shape, and it comes time where we have to go to a restaurant. As much as us fitness people like to become hermits when we're especially in a fat loss journey, okay, I'm on a fat loss trend right now. I really don't want to do bad on my diet. I really don't want to mess up, so I'm just going to stay home. Problem is that's not optimal. It's not realistic. Life is always going to have a plan to push your plan out of the way. As Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. So same thing. You can't be a hermit when you're trying to lose body fat. You have to be able to adapt and work around it. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about my 5 tips on what you should be doing every time you go out to eat at a restaurant so you don't mess up. So guys, if you haven't already, make sure you go to my Instagram page at AB Fitness Center. If you have any questions at all, this topic was actually brought to my attention by one of our clients, Jude. So shout out to you for this video idea. This was a great idea and I figured I'd cover it. But anybody else have any other questions, you can head over to my Instagram and just send me a message and I'll gladly record a video going over the tips that you should do to get through it. And also don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This way you never miss a beat and you get real fitness information without the fluff. All right, let's roll. So we're on a fat loss diet, trying to lose a bunch of body fat. We're stuck going out to eat, right? What the hell do we do? So first and foremost, rule number 1, and again, no in particular order, I'm just saying one. I have 5 topics I want to cover, but this is number 1. Basically, never go out to eat hungry. That is always a big mistake. If you go out to eat hungry, your eyes are going to be bigger than your stomach. And you're going to, especially during a fat loss phase, you're going to end up ordering everything on the menu. Then you're going to have everything and it's going to go through that vicious cycle. Your stomach's going to hurt because you're not used to eating that much food. And then you're going to just feel like crap. And then you're going to feel like down because you cheated. And then you're going to go through that bad cycle. You'll be up in weight. Then you'll be confused why. And you'll be depressed. You want to avoid that. So you always want to make sure that you never go out to eat on an empty stomach. Never. Okay, big mistake, which leads me right into topic number 2, which basically is, and this is a trick, 30 minutes before you go out to eat, have a protein shake. Now, very simple strategy there, but it's gonna work wonders. So the reason why I'm saying to have a protein shake before you go to the restaurant, because protein has a twofold effect when you eat it. 1, your body has to heat up a little bit to burn it off, so you actually burn off some of those calories before you go out to eat. And 2, protein keeps you fuller longer. So if I have a shake 20 minutes, 30 minutes before I get to the restaurant, I'm gonna sit down at the restaurant and I'm not gonna be as hungry. So that kind of ties into my point number 2 where you don't, never go hungry. So that's my number 1 to go tip. If you shut this video off right now, that would be the biggest takeaway that you could get from this, okay? So always have a protein shake. And here's the other trick with the protein shake too. This is what I always do. So I'll take 2 scoops of protein. I'll fill a shaker cup. I don't have one with me, but I'll fill a shaker cup. So shaker cup's about 20 ounces of water. I'll literally fill it to the top. I'll mix my 2 scoops of protein in there. I'll shake it and then I'll drink that. So the reason being, I love to fill it with a lot of water. So the water takes up room in my stomach too and I'm nice and full. This way when I get to, listen guys, you've been out to eat when you're hungry and you know what happens. You literally order things that you would never order. It's like your brain just shuts off and your hunger just starts ordering for you. So you start ordering all this random stuff when you're hungry. But when you're not hungry, you can actually think more consciously. It's like those, I think it's Snickers, the Snickers commercial where it's like you get hangry. It's kind of what happens, right? So you gotta have a protein shake before you go. Prior, must, always, should do that because that's definitely going to help you. And again, like I said, use my tip, fill a shaker bottle up, 20 ounces of water, 2 scoops of protein, drink that up. You'll be sitting at the table nice and content and you'll be taking the right steps toward keeping your fat loss goals. So number 3, and I like to call this carbon fat fasting. So what you're going to do, let's say you have a wedding, right? Let's say you have a bigger event. and you know you're gonna go out, you know it's gonna be like one of those nights where there's just gonna be food everywhere. One of the best tactics that you can do is actually to fast from carbs and fat. So whenever we go out to eat or whenever we're anywhere, typically the hardest nutrient to get in is gonna be protein. So I definitely wouldn't try to like hit your protein goals out. I mean, it's possible, but it's just gonna be a lot harder. Most of the time, American dishes, when they come to you, it's just basically carbs and fat. There's really not a lot of protein when you go out to eat. So what I like to do is if I know I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna have a big meal, I basically bank my carbs and my fat for the day, and I kind of save them for that meal. So let's say I was going for dinner somewhere or whatever, I'm doing something and I was going to dinner. So basically, for my first meal of the day, I would just have protein. Second meal of the day, maybe I would have like protein and vegetables. Maybe the third meal, again, depending on what time I went out, or again, it'd be protein and vegetables. And then boom, my last meal, I would save all my carbs and my fat for that meal. And then this way I have a lot of extra calories banked to use for it. So it's not really like intermittent fasting, but I call it carb and fat fasting. This way you're saving all those carbs and fat for that meal, and you could kind of eat what you want during that meal. So you want pasta, or you want pizza, or you want this, or you want that. You have a lot more calories allotted so you can fit that in. Especially for women, you know, women don't have a lot of calories to begin with typically, and you're gonna have to save up a lot of those calories. So that's what I would do, and I would typically go for more of the things you want. If you want a dessert, you can have dessert and fit that in. But again, it's just a matter of banking those calories in. All right, so that's my tip number 3, tactic number 3. Tactic number 4 is pre-planning what you're gonna eat. I'm sure you've heard this one before. This is kind of obvious. If you know you're going to, I don't know, a restaurant at night, and you kind of could plug it into MyFitnessPal earlier in the day and then just kind of eat around it. I've done that too. I don't think that's the best strategy because sometimes, listen, like I just said, we all have a plan until we get punched in the face, like Mike Tyson says. So you could have a plan on what you're going to eat. You can get to the restaurant and then, oh, they don't have that item on the menu anymore. Well, oops, they ran out of chicken. I don't know. Stuff happens, right? Life happens. So you want to make sure that you're prepared, and I like the other tactics better. But again, this is another good one too. If you know you always get the same thing when you go out, just put it in your MyFitnessPal in your food log earlier in the day, and then just eat around it. This way you never have to worry about it. It's already there. I like to do it in the morning. So if, let's just say today I'm going out to eat with my wife. We're going to go whatever. I don't know. We're going to get some chicken parm. I don't know. So I would basically, if it's morning, I'll get up in the morning. I'll put that meal that I'm going to have. Okay, I know I'm going to have chicken parm and whatever, a cup of pasta. So I put that in MyFitnessPal early. And then for the rest of the day, I just kind of eat around that. And then I'm good. I know I'm going to have that. But then again, I'm also stuck to eating just that. Like I said, what if the restaurant ran out of chicken parm? I'd probably get out and leave, but you get the point, right? So you want to make sure that you have it stacked. But again, it's also another good strategy that you can use. All right, number 5, tactic number 5. And this tactic is definitely a little bit more advanced. So I don't recommend this tactic to anyone really, unless you've been dieting and utilizing flexible dieting for a long time. This is definitely a more advanced strategy. So what you're going to do, and again, I know sometimes life happens, right? And most of the time I will tell you that, okay, if life happens, just kind of ignore it, pretend it didn't, it happened, just take it and start over tomorrow. But when you're really trying to buckle down and lose more body fat, this is what you can do. So let's say you're out to eat and you just went over. You lost control, whatever, you didn't listen to tactics 1 through 4, you lost control and you went way over your calories. So an advanced tactic that you could use is you can actually borrow some calories from the next day for that meal. Again, I'm not a big fan of this for someone who hasn't been doing this for a while, but it is a tactic that you could use. Because remember, you don't lose body fat over the course of the day. You don't lose it in one meal. You lose it over weeks and months. So all that really matters is the weekly totals, not so much what happens during the day. So if that's the case, you could borrow some calories from the next day. So let's say you went over on carbs. Let's say they gave me 3 cups of pasta and I ate all 3 cups of pasta and I only put 1 in my MyFitnessPal. So then I would take those 2 cups of pasta that I had and I would put it in the following day. And then I would just eat around it. So that's another advanced tactic that you can use. Again, like I said, I would only recommend it if you've been flexible dieting for a long time and understand it. I wouldn't recommend it to a beginner because sometimes that leads into bad habits and we don't want to develop any bad habits. We only want to develop lifelong habits that are going to help you to get the body of your dreams. So again, those were my 5.
Hey guys, so I recorded the video and I'm literally in the middle of working out and I'm like, I completely forgot to mention this. So one of the things that I would say this is tactic number 6 is to not be afraid to customize your meal. Don't be afraid to be annoying to them. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. But don't be afraid to annoy the staff and whoever works there and just get the meal customized to you. So if you're trying to save some calories and you're really trying to diet, just tell them, listen, cook this plain. I don't want this, I want that. Don't be afraid to make modifications. If it's a good quality place that you're eating at, they'll make those modifications for you. So that's tactic number 6. Again, sorry I had to edit this, but the idea came to me in the middle of a set and I'm like, I gotta tell them. It's important. All right guys, here's back to the video.
If you thought this video was helpful, just please watch this one and that one and that one, okay? And don't forget to subscribe. This way you never miss a beat and you get real fitness information without the fluff. And also, if you thought this video was helpful, make sure you share it with a friend because everybody should know these 5 tactics when it comes to going out to eat and losing body fat. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.